Hey, thanks for joining us today on Junction City Today. It is your host, Craig Bielek and Farrell. I always go first. I always say Craig Bielek and Farrell. Do you want me to say Farrell and Craig Bielek?
As long as my name's in there somewhere.
Something like that. And we're joined with Brian from Saddle Strings, a band that you should know if you don't already. And we're going to tell you why in this whole episode. Hello, Brian. How are you?
I'm fine.
Good. Specifically today, we are here to talk about Music at the Rails happening on November. Can you remember?
I can't remember.
You can't remember? You know.
It's on the 8th.
It's on the 8th. I was going to say November. I wanted you to remember.
No,
7 p.m.
7 p.m. right
the
down
Grand
here.
Ballroom?
The Grand. Good job,
Yes,
Farrell.
Grand lobby.
Oh,
You
we're not-
missed
we're not-
it by that
yeah,
much.
it's right. We're not fancy enough to have a ballroom. I was just trying to church it up a little bit. You know, I was.
That's what we have Farrell here for, to church it up. I've never even heard that term. You just made that up right now. Not only that, but there's like all these people out there that go to church are like going, that ain't it. I don't know what church it up is, but that ain't it. That is not it. No, we're talking about Music at the Rails, November 8th, right here at the Union Station. I assume there's going to be music.
There will be lots of music.
Yeah.
We're a four-piece group that we play cowboy music, which obviously is different, especially from the country music nowadays. We do music that will show you our view from the saddle, and we all have experience with cattle drives, wagon trains, things they still do today.
Really?
And I just got back from Texas from a wagon train. And
I was going to say, and did you go there for fun? I mean, you were like working, but
no, it was
vacation?
it was all fun. We have two friends from Texas that invited us down, and he drove a wagon and he needed some outriders. An outrider is a person who rides alongside the team, and if the harness tangles or they get tangled with another wagon, whatever, you're there to help.
And I don't think people realize how hard of work that is. I think a lot of people, they see it in the TVs and they see it, you know, that it's all wonderful and romantic. And you guys are out there busting your hump. It's like
It's fun though. It's fun. My wife has horse blood running through her veins, so I have to take her on these things. But it's always nice when something goes wrong with the wagon and you can lope up there and jump off and get things straightened out before we have a real wreck.
And help out on there.
Yeah. It's
So
fun.
why are we having Music at the Rails? What is that?
This is I think it's part of a fundraiser for the Union Station, which is an amazing piece of our history here in the Ogden area. The Cowboy Museum's in there, the Browning Museum. The Union Station is a place where every person who lives in this area should be aware of and should visit often.
And I've said this a million times, I don't think people realize what's here at Union Station. I think they just think it's a bunch of old trains and they don't have time for it. And they don't realize how many cool things are here.
Yeah, you mentioned the Car Museum. You mentioned the Browning Gun Museum, Train Museum, the
Cowboy Museum, the Rodeo Hall of Fame.
The Rodeo Cowboy Hall of Fame, the Gem and Mineral Museum, all of those sorts of things.
Yes.
There's a lot to do down here.
Art galleries.
Art galleries, that's right. There's this studio. I mean, you know, with the huge studio audience. Thanks for coming today, all of you out there, studio audience. We tried to get as many of you in as we could, but we only seat 600, and you can see we let some people stand in the back, but that's okay.
I think it's important to go to things like this and support the Union Station.
Yeah, there's a big anniversary coming up for the Union Station in May of 2019. It's the driving of the Golden Spike, the wedding of the rails. Everybody knows about that?
Yes.
May 10th.
May 10th? Oh, you even know the date and everything like that.
Yes,
and we're
sir.
trying to raise some funds for the Union Station to make it all happen because we want to have a great celebration. I've heard rumor throughout the town that this town has no hotel rooms left for that weekend.
Really?
Because people are coming from all over the world, literally all over the world for this celebration. So
That's wonderful.
we want to make sure that we put on a party like it's 1899. I mean,
1869.
1869.
Your math is not good at all, Craig.
Yeah,
You know what?
I don't do math.
It's a good thing we have this gentleman here. He has corrected you the
I
entire
know.
episode. And
I
I,
know.
love
This
it.
would be the sesquicentennial. I think,
Exactly.
150
I'm just trying to church it up.
We're not doing a very good job.
Which is a term. Poor Brian. He's like, I thought we were going to talk about my music. I thought I was coming onto this show
we're
to
talking
talk about
the
my craft
Union
and my
Station.
art. Yeah.
The Union Station is what this thing's all about.
Yeah. How many songs has Saddle Strings written by now?
I have probably 3 dozen that I've written. Snooks Argyle has probably written at least a dozen. But we actually do a lot of cover songs, from old things to new things. I mean, we do Ghost Riders in the Sky. Stan Jones wrote that in 1947.
Right.
You know, he was a forest ranger in Death Valley.
Wow.
If you can think about that for a minute. How many trees are in Death Valley?
Right. Yeah. He's up there,
There's
perched
a
up in
cactus
that
somewhere.
that little hut that's at the top of the thing. Well, I can see pretty far.
Yeah, that's
don't need
a whole nother story for another day. But the music we do, most of the people along the Wasatch Front are familiar with the Bar J Wranglers.
Sure.
And the music you'll be getting that night is very, very similar to that. We try to do a lot of harmonies, and the humor just happens. We don't have anything programmed in, but we'll try our best to put on a good show that night.
Right.
So how long have you guys been together performing as a group?
Since 1994.
Wow.
Wow, that's a
Long time. Don't make me do the math. Okay. I'm not going to do that. Why do you do it, Brian? I mean, why don't you?
Well, for me,
you could do anything, probably.
it's the people.
Yeah.
It really is the people that we have met. We've done, I just did a show in Texas, a solo show, but as a group, we've traveled from Sierra Vista, Arizona, down on the Mexico border up to Pendleton, Oregon. We've played at the Pendleton Roundup.
Yeah.
And the people that we meet along the way, a lot of them have become family.
Wow.
With the fellow performers and fans that just come to see you every time.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's great.
Well, a call-in question from one of our viewers out there right now live. They want to know if that mustache is real.
I actually
No, not yours, Farrell's.
I shaved it off in 1975, and my friend told me to grow it back because he wasn't going to have any little kid be his best man. So it's been there ever since.
It's really nice.
That mustache is older than me.
It probably is.
I believe it is.
It's been groomed more than you, too.
Even that, yes, fair enough.
At least a couple of times. Poor Farrell. Poor Farrell. Fill everybody in one more time with what's going on.
Music at the Rails, November 8th, 7 p.m. We're raising funds for the Union Station. We're going to put on a Cowboy Concert, and we'd love to have you here.
Love to have you here. Tickets are $10.
55? Oh.
They're $10 each. Yeah, 55. I like this guy. I really do.
Tickets
Farrell,
are $10, and we'll try our best to make it worth your while.
If you could put a request in for this guy, what song would he play?
Oh, why are you going to throw that at me?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I love Ghost Riders.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm not as in tune with Western music as I
Tumbleweeds?
should be.
Can you do that one?
We have done that one. We don't do it often, but probably one of our most requested
Trails.
songs.
Oh.
We do a song called Coyotes, which is about an old cowboy in South Texas who, around the turn of the 20th century, he watched all of the things happening, the cars and the airplanes and the electricity and the paving of the roads and people discovering oil in Texas. And he was just an old vaquero, and he didn't know how to deal with it. So one night he just disappeared, but the next night one more coyote was heard.
Wow. That's a cool song. Music at the Rails. It's on November 8th. Gosh, that was the one thing. 7
p.m.
At the Grand Lobby.
At the Grand Lobby. Love to see you there. And of course, we always appreciate you watching Junction City Today. I was going to say Ogden Union Station's Junction City Today, but it's just Junction City Today. Sorry, just trying to church it up. That's my new saying. You're going to go home tonight and church it up, aren't you?
I'm going to go home and take my tie off.
Thanks again. We really appreciate your time.
Thank you, folks, for watching us. We'll see you again next time.